Hello everyone, welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. My name is Pixlriffs and today we're going to be building DV radio. And here we are. If you've watched Oviraptor's recent videos, you'll know that this site was approved for the construction of DV radio. It's on fashionable Circle Square in downtown Spawn. And we're going to start off by placing some acacia wood here as pillars. There's a couple of reasons I wanted to build a radio station. The first of which is that I've amassed kind of a huge collection of records from the dungeons and spawner chests I've found. So I really wanted a use for those because I don't have a jukebox at my base and I don't listen to those two records regularly. So yeah, I've got a ton of them in here, you'll find out. Yeah, this is probably only half of the music discs I've managed to get from spawner chests, but I've also been farming them from creepers with skeletons shooting them back at my base, and I've already got blocks, strad, and mellow high, which is a record that nobody seems to be able to pronounce for some reason. The few people I've seen having a go at it have completely failed to say mellow high the first time. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure why that is. Maybe it has some kind of weird verbal curse. But the other reason for building it is that I am on a server with a couple of Minecraft parody songwriters, namely Kane and Clandlewood, who I'm sure you're familiar with. If you're not, go and check their channels out, and go and check out Clandlewood's channel where he hosts the videos for the music they do, because I kind of help out with that when I can. They've got a kind of songwriting partnership. I'm not sure who's Lennon and who's McCartney, but I think Clandlewood does most of the lyric writing, Kane does the singing, and then they asked me to come in and do a bit of work on the music production side of things. And my degree is in music production, and I haven't really used it a great deal since I left university because I don't work in a recording studio or anything, but I have a decent amount of home recording equipment, which is why hopefully you can tell that I have a decent grasp of audio recording for the audio quality of these videos. Now that was a pretty decent amount of purple stained clay. I love this purple stained clay block. I've not really used it a great deal before, but for the build I have planned, this totally works. It's going to be mainly based on quartz and purple, at least for the exterior, with a bit of leaves and stuff to dress it up as well, but we'll get to those. Now I'm going to have to place these super carefully because I've tried this a couple of times already and completely failed to get the placement of these quartz stairs right. So there's only 6 blocks on each side. It goes like this and like, I believe like that. No, that's wrong. Like so. Yes, that's it. I'm fairly certain that's it. If not, then you'll probably see it change abruptly in a minute. But I'm kind of excited to be the first person really building on Circle Square. I kind of hope other people come in and bring some more stuff to this area, because I think Ovi's done a fantastic job of laying out this whole area. And is this right? Yes, I think it is. I'm going to have to put some leaves down to test this, because leaves are kind of a part of the build. Let's see, it kind of goes there and there. That's the center. Fantastic. Okay, I have got that right. I was incredibly worried because I've done a bit of trial and error with this build already. So thankfully that seems to be working out. So we can place the blocks that are going to be the entrance right here. I may have to run back to my base and get a few more supplies as well, but we can work on that in a minute. This goes here like so. Pillar there. And we want stairs on top like that, and stairs on top like that. Cool. And already that's looking like quite a neat little entrance, but believe me, it's going to get 10 times better in a minute. Let's put down some slabs while we can, because the entranceway needs those. Does it need them there? I think it does. Okay. Trust in your judgment and don't place blocks in weird places. There we go. Fantastic. So yeah, I wanted to build a radio station because I thought it'd be a cool build. There hasn't been a great deal of like arts building around Spawn. Obviously there's kind of cool stuff like the insult and compliment tents, which I haven't really featured much on camera, but I know they are there. And so yeah, I have a couple of different plans for art style buildings. I want to build like a gallery kind of thing, or a theatre. I mentioned a theatre a couple of times in my videos before. So yeah, I really want to get on that. What shall we do next? Let's do the stained glass on the outside. Now I'm fairly confident that I've got these stairs placed correctly. Oh, and I've completely ruined the placement of that one, and I brought exactly the right amount of stained glass with me, but it's fine because I have my mushroom chopper. Thank you, Jefferson. Yeah, that has been useful a lot. And now we want to build this one in here. I think I might actually have brought even more stained glass than I needed, which is fine. I'm totally cool with that. I can definitely use a little bit more of that somewhere else. Now, let's get the door in while we can, because this is kind of a fun bit. I've pretty much copied the style of OV's lottery building door, in that it's a kind of corner, and it opens right out onto Circle Square. And you'll notice the build isn't exactly symmetrical. That's kind of planned, I guess, because the kind of architecture of Circle Square doesn't lend itself super well to symmetrical builds. I suppose if it came out to about here, then maybe I could, but I feel like that's taking away a bit of space that could be used for something else, at least a little bit of decoration and like lamp posts and stuff like we have around the rest of Spawn. So yeah, I will keep it that way for now. We don't need this door because you always get 3 and you only need 2. I'm going to build the birch leaves around the entranceway now. So I've been watching a ton of videos, and for a while I kind of abstained from watching any Minecraft videos based around building because frankly they intimidated me. When I started playing the game, I was not at all confident in my ability to build anything coherent, but now I am a little bit more, and you'll notice the stained glass connects up to the leaf block. Even though that's a transparent block and that's a completely unrelated transparent block, somehow it connects up, and that that is pretty much the basis of why I'm building like this. Anyway, I've been watching a couple of videos and been picking up some fantastic tips on building, especially from B00. He's kind of my main source of inspiration right now. And I'm starting to find other people's builds more inspiring than intimidating, which is kind of cool. But 2 awesome things I learned from watching B00 is the whole concept of dressing up a building with leaves, which I know people have probably done on this server already, but he does it a lot, and it just gives everything so much more character, makes everything look so much more natural and part of the environment, which is really cool. So just adding in a couple of leaves around the outside here, especially around these sides when I'm not going to put any windows in the build, because those are the kind of recording booths at the back here. Just adding stuff in like this, just somehow that just makes the whole thing look a little bit more put together, you know? And the other thing I learned from one of the videos I was watching recently, which was an old Minecraft video, is that when you're in a desert biome, obviously if you put a tree down, all the leaves are going to change colour because it's a dry environment. But birch leaves and spruce leaves don't do that. They've only ever got one colour. So I've been using them pretty extensively when it comes to building here, because you may not know this, but this whole area used to be a desert, and then Logan kind of terraformed it into a grassland, sort of plains, savanna type of thing, I guess, which is really cool. But obviously it's a little bit of a problem when you want to build anything that looks like it's in regular grassland, because a lot of the time it's going to look a little bit dry. And the grass is obviously this kind of yellowish colour. I'm waffling now because I'm trying to decide what to do next. I think the next thing I need to do is pop in a block of glowstone here on the other side of these leaves there, and that is going to be lighting up our entranceway, and that's going to be super nice. And I've got some pretty cool plans for the interior of this build as well, but we will save those, like I said, for another time. Before I go any further, I'm going to add in the redstone whatsits for this this entranceway, because I figured, what with it being a radio station, it's got to have some kind of musical entrance. I figured that was definitely going to have to be a feature. And oh, I'm knocking holes where I shouldn't be knocking holes. Far too efficient, this pickaxe. So I figured it would have to have some kind of musical entrance. I figured note blocks were the thing to do that with, and so I've got a few of those that I'm going to be saving for later, but for now, those are going to go there. And you'll notice they're not doing anything yet because that is on a half slab and is not a full block, and it needs to be a full block before it will conduct redstone. So let's pop back down here. Probably have to get rid of that. Lovely. Pop that one on there. Note block back in. Get me out of the hole. There it is. And right now it's playing a horrible Discord. I think that should be about right. Let's test it. Yay, lovely. That's an interval you hear a lot in the music for Minecraft, so I thought it'd be kind of a cool way to let yourself into the building. Ding. And it has the added bonus that these note blocks look a lot like doormats to me. I don't know if they do to other people, but they certainly do to me, so I thought that was going to be kind of cool touch. I've got note blocks and jukeboxes. There we go. Get your mouth around that word. Now, I think the next thing we need to do is work on the exterior some more. We've got the stairs there, and the other handy thing about these leaves is that they provide a nice little step up to this bit. And I think on top of this glowstone block, we had a pillar of quartz, like so. This is going to be completely disjointed, the order I'm doing this stuff in now, but it's just as it occurs to me. And I have got pictures of this build open, so I'm kind of working from those because I can never remember all of this stuff once I've built it in creative. It's really difficult for it to translate into survival there, like that. And with the leaves there, that is all sealed off, which I'm quite pleased with. It's a shame it had to be such a flimsy block as leaves, but I think that actually gives the entrance quite a nice feel. Let's pop the rest of these stairs in. Not that way up, though. Ace. Oh, come on. I can never get the hang of placing things the right way up. I know which part of the block I'm supposed to be looking at, but I just rush things. That's my problem. I tend to talk 100 miles an hour in my videos as well, which leads to me stumbling a lot. And if we're going to be a radio station here, we should think things through before we say them. Should also think blocks through before we place them. This is always the tricky part, this part where you have to get the stair to go into a corner formation, but thankfully once you remove that dirt block it stays there, which is nice. Let's tidy those up. I'm going to need a couple more stairs for the design of the roof, which we will work on right now, I think. Okay, do I have any glowstone on me? No. Can I reach the build chest from here? Not quite, but I will grab those now. Okay, this part is kind of fun because you have a glowstone block there and there, tucked into the side of those stairs. And then we're going to surround that with another quartz stair on this side facing that way. Sorry, I keep opening and closing the door. And on this side facing that way. So when you stand back a little bit, it's just kind of peeking out from the top, just giving it that nice kind of gold touch. And I get that this building isn't exactly like as rustic looking as some of the other stuff that I've built. And I kind of wanted it to be that way. I wanted it to be a little bit more kind of opulent looking, I guess, a little bit more rich. And yeah, I think I'm most of the way to achieving that as we are right now. Let's see what else we need. I think what goes here is a dirt block just for placement, and yeah, that's what happens. We've got quartz stairs going outward like this. Let's move those into the hotbar. Quartz stairs going out like that. Another dirt block in there, and final pillar quartz block on top. So now from ground level, I think that looks pretty good. I think that's pretty well put together so far. Let's sidetrack for a minute and pop in these spruce fences, because they're going to be essential for the kind of canopy roof around the outside. I have no idea if that's what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it for now because I don't know the technical word for it. I've been meaning to build a bit more with these acacia logs because I love the grey on the outside compared with the kind of contrasting, lovely sort of rosy pink, almost orangey pink wood in the inside. I've actually used a bunch of them in one of the builds at my base, which I will get back to another time, and I'll be able to show you that. But for now, the outside canopy roof is going to be done in quartz slabs, and I do hope I have enough of these. I have a feeling that I don't, but we will have to see. I have to be pretty careful with the placement of these as well, because I'm not certain I'm doing this right all the time, but we can always adjust that as we go. And this point it comes in like that and then has a stair block there. Perfect. That's good. Now on this side we do a similar kind of thing. It pretty much just has to follow the line of these stairs around. And I think that one just goes there, like that. It's not 100% following that, but it's pretty close. And then I can't get back up onto there. And then finally, a quartz stair block goes in here, like that. Is that right? Is that... I think that's not right, because it needs to be just there, doesn't it? That's how it goes. I'm fairly confident that's how it goes. And this is going to look a little bit gappy for now, but don't worry, because we're going to fill that in with some spruce wood planks, which I'm going to grab from here. Let's get 64 of those. May as well have a full stack on us. Oh, and and now I'm going to encounter problems because I've blocked myself from doing the rest of this. So these are going to fill in all the way around here, basically, and that's going to be a kind of recessed alcove bit around the outside of the building, which I think is going to look pretty good. And I think it already does look pretty good because I'm seeing pictures of it outside of the window of the game. I only use one monitor when I play Minecraft, and I know a lot of people have two monitors, and that's really helpful in terms of having stuff that you can just look over at while you've got the game window open. But because I have to play in such low resolution because this computer isn't the best, I always have my game window kind of small, and as a result I can just throw all of the stuff for my build plans around the outside of it, and I can usually see it pretty well from there. I think that one goes there, and actually I think they're probably inside there, aren't they? That's right, yeah, because we don't have that block. If I can get it back, please. Apparently I can't. That's fine, it can stay up there, not a problem. This is looking pretty good so far. I think that's more or less how I've got it in creative. I will have to go back and check just in case, but for now we can probably finish slabbing off the outside of the roof, and I'll pick the right bush to climb up to do that. I'm not going to have enough slabs for this at all, which really sucks. I'm going to have to go and make some more. But for a start, we'll get the outside of the building done, at least so it looks somewhat put together. And I have no idea if anyone's going to be able to show this in their videos before you guys get to see it, because I know Ovi always puts out a video on a Monday, and I'm recording this on a Monday, but I don't know if he's recorded this earlier. So it will be interesting to see whether this building turns up in his video or not. While we're here, let's do some of the vine work around the outside. I realise I'm not building this in any kind of order, but that will have to do. And these vines look a little bit different because we're in a desert as well, but I think that's okay. I might change these later. I reserve the right to go back and mess around with a bunch of this stuff later because I have a feeling I will want to. That is going to go there for a reason which I will explain in a minute, and it might even have to go one block along. But basically there's a piece of glowstone on the inside, which for some reason I couldn't work into the build in any other place, mainly because I want all the stuff inside to be covered with trapdoors. And And yeah, it was peeking out the side there. So anybody who has fancy leaf textures on is going to be able to see that, but I don't really mind too much. And I'm only ever going to be using fast leaf texture because, as aforementioned, my computer is a little bit slow. So let's dress the side of that. Let's get rid of that one. I'm not liking that one too much. How about that? That's kind of cool. Put these in like so. I like to have a couple clustered around the side of the pillar as well, but I imagine that this road will want to be extended at some point. Like, I'm not sure what the plans are for this, so the ones on this side I'm going to keep fairly trim so they're not interfering with the sidewalk too much. Not as if it's going to matter, really, because nobody really minds. It's not like you're going to get run over or anything if you're on the road, but hey, it's a neat thing. It's a way to kind of keep things in check a little bit. So there we go. I think the outside of this is looking pretty cool. I might just wrap that around there. Yeah, that looks decent. That looks decent. Like I said, I'll tinker with it later. I'll probably do that off camera just to save you guys the worry, but let's pop a couple more of these in here. Have a couple of them on the bushes as well, just for a bit of variety. Cool. I think that will probably do. I don't want any vines on the outside for obvious reasons. On the front, I mean, for obvious reasons, because it's looking pretty pretty opulent, pretty rich, pretty cool looking as it is, and I don't want it to look like it's completely overgrown. So that is most of the exterior done. I just need to put on the roof, which is going to be pretty much just stone slabs, which feels a little bit cheap after having done the outside in such nice materials, especially that quartz. And I'm a bit of a glutton for punishment, apparently, when it comes to building, because I keep choosing to build stuff in quartz, and then it takes me ages to get that from the nether. And speaking of the nether, I don't know what he is doing here. I think he's probably just wandered in from the nether portal. Might have to deal with that, but I've had enough of fighting zombie pigmen for a while, and more about that in a future video. But let's finish off this roof. I'm going to get this done in the video at least, and I will probably manage to do the mast as well while we're here. And the mast is one of my favourite things about this whole build. It looks a little bit odd on the... Hi! Okay, you'll have to excuse me while I deal with this guy. He is not here to have fun. Thank you for gold nuggets. Thank you very much. I don't know what I will use them for. Possibly making potions. Who knows? Up we go. And yeah, I'm going to have to start climbing onto the roof from now on, because this is going to be slabbed off nicely, which should hopefully prevent mobs from spawning. I'm pretty sure that's why I made it this way in the first place. The only section that's not going to be slabbed off, may as well get rid of that now and pop one of those in there, so it at least looks a little bit neater. The only section that's not going to be slabbed off is the bit with the mast, but that's okay because it will have other blocks on it. Yeah, that's looking cool. I'm so worried that I've built this completely wrong, and I'm going to take a step back and then something is going to look completely out of place from the build I did in creative. But as far as I know, it's going pretty well. So let's have faith in our building skills, shall we? I've decided recently that I am a builder. And I know this is kind of a weird statement to make, but you know, people often talk about the different ways you play Minecraft. Like, there are people who like adventuring, there are people who go all out for redstone contraptions and stuff like that. There are people who do a little bit of everything, and I've been one of those people for a while, I think. And isn't this cozy now? This is kind of cool. The roof brings it in a bit. I have more plans for the ceiling of the actual interior later on. But yeah, I've decided that I really, really enjoy building. Building is one of the aspects of Minecraft that I will absolutely return to every single time. And I think I can be pretty proud of something like this. I think it's kind of a neat design. It's got a couple of little quirks. Like I said, it's not quite symmetrical, but that's cool. I'm going to pop this into the interior before I forget, because this is Hey, it's one of the aspects of the build that I will completely forget until it's too late. So I'm going to pop a water bucket in here. And this, oh, that's the sand. This is the one corner of the build I didn't know what to do with until recently. And yep, we can take that out of the way. I wasn't sure if that block was intended to be there or not, but I actually quite like the way sugarcane looks in deserts. It's got that kind of really neat bamboo sort of look. So that's going to go in the corner here. More on the interior later, as I keep saying. Right, I think that's pretty much all of the exterior done. The jungle leaves and stuff I'm not going to use because I was testing those to see if they looked horrible and yellow in a desert, which they do. I don't know, we might find a way to blend those into the exterior. We'll have a think. I'll do that off camera. For now, I'm going to pop all of this stuff back in here, including the rotten flesh from that pig man. We can put the pillar quartz away, and the last thing we're going to do is work on the mast. Now I've got some spare slabs for that. And the mast is mainly going to be made out of this acacia wood because I think it looks superb as like a grey metallic kind of look. So we will go for that. I'm going to hop back up here if I can, which I can after a couple of tries. This is why I'm a builder, because I'm not maneuverable. I'm not light-footed at all in Minecraft terms. And yeah, I'm pretty certain that I would not do well in any kind of PvP situation. So a builder I will have to be. Now this just goes straight up for 7 blocks. So I'm going to take a little bit of fall damage when I come back down, but that'll be fine. I haven't actually built this in a survival setting before. I only built it in creative. So yeah, I imagine that I will probably take a little bit of damage here, but that's not a problem. That's not in the right place. I'll move it in a second. Actually, it might be in the right place. I might have made a fortuitous mistake, but I don't think I have. This goes on here like that. This like that. That there. That there. And can I? I can. Fantastic. And you know, I don't think that's right. I think it needs to be like that. So let's get rid of that one. We can meet that one downstairs. Uh-huh. Yes. Yes, this is what it's supposed to look like. So yeah, this is the radio mast, and it bears almost no resemblance to a radio mast from real life, aside from the fact that the redstone torch on the top is meant to look like the red light that's on the top of masts and pylons and stuff to prevent low-flying planes from running into it, and obviously there's not going to be anything like that here, but that's not the point. I really wish I brought my bucket of water, because then at least I could try and get down safely. But no, we're just going to have to jump it. Ow! Okay, that was... I forgot I was completely not wearing my armor through all of that. I could have, I don't even know, I could have built this supremely high. I could have fallen off, I could have died. You would have all laughed at me more than you already do. Not to worry, it's fine. Underneath here, the plan was to have... Actually, I'm going to build this from the ground up, because otherwise I'm never going to remember how it all goes. Like so, like that, and on the outside of here, just various electronic paraphernalia is what I'm going for here. That's what this is supposed to look like. I'm going to put those in there for now, but I will leave those sticking out like that because I could use them to climb up. This needs to be like that. Like that, like that. Why can't I jump over that? That just feels like a space that should be there. And finally, we want hoppers on the side, which are meant to kind of look like those dish type objects that you sometimes see on radio towers. Like that. A few finishing touches with the iron bars and we should be good. Let's hop down and see what we think. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I do think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that'll do for this time. I think I'll probably get the interior done in the next video, but I've already been recording for about half an hour, so I reckon with a little bit of editing that should be trimmed down to a nice episode. I'll finish off the quartz around the outside, because it's still lacking a little bit at the back, but I won't need to get on the roof from now on, so that should be good. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this little look into my latest build, and tune in next time when, hopefully, we should be able to complete the interior. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and have a great day.